Hi, everyone, and welcome to Wellness Wednesdays. My name is Lupita, and I am a recent Harvard graduate. I am so excited to be sharing wellness with you all today. And today I wanted to focus on grief. And so, whether you've just finished a semester, whether you've moved, or whether you have just graduated, or anything in life, sometimes we go through these cycles, these beginnings that come with a duration and then come with an end. And so a lot of us might be feeling a sense of grief, emotions such as sadness or remorse, excitement, gratitude, and just understanding that we can hold space for it all. And we can move through some of that stuff through the movement, through body, through breath. And so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start in a comfortable child's pose. It's called Balasana in our yoga terms here. And we're just going to come to our mat with knees mat width distance apart, and then the hips coming towards the heels. And you can just slowly start to send yourself down, your heart down towards the earth, your forehead down to this space. Now let's start to take a few breaths here. And if you've done past classes with us, we've touched on the importance of relaxing the nervous system, of calming down. This allows for not only a clearer mind, but clearer thoughts, a clear sense of emotions, allowing ourselves to pause and really just tune in to our breath, to this moment, tapping into something called mindfulness. When we were able to be with the present. And so notice here how the body feels. Notice how the breath feels as you breathe in and out. Maybe the belly expands between the thighs. Use this space to ask yourself what you're bringing with you today. Maybe asking yourself something that you are grieving. And giving permission for that emotion to exist here. Giving it a safe space on your mat to process. Let's take 3 deep breaths here. We're going to lengthen through the spine, send the fingertips closer to the front of the mat, send the heels back, the hips back. Feeling the back body expand and grow as you breathe in. And feeling the heart lower as you exhale. Breathe out. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale deeply. And exhale mindfully. Maybe with the mouth open. And 1 more deep breath in. And exhale. And then slowly starting to work your way up. Beautiful. We're going to come into something called all fours, tabletop position. And from here, we're going to start moving into cat-cows. And so you want to place the hands directly beneath the shoulders, knees below the knees, or below the hips, excuse me. And we're going to reach, rounding the spine, sending the chin up, shoulders back, and then exhale. And so as we're moving the spine in this way, can we come back to our emotion? Almost like we are gently massaging that emotion. And keep breathing here as you move the body. Make sure that you have a micro bend in the elbows, a tiny, tiny bend in the elbow, so we're not dumping weight into the shoulders or into the wrists. And you want to press the entire palm into the earth. And back to center here. We're going to slowly sway the hips from side to side. And then I want you to pretend that you have somewhat of a pencil coming from the belly button. You're going to draw a figure 8 on the mat, okay, with that pencil. So you're going to move forward and back, really getting into your hips. And so we tend to hold a lot of emotion here in the hips. Keep going. A lot of trauma here in the hips, a lot of tension, mostly because we're carrying a lot of weight here and also in the shoulders. So this exercise or movement is really going to help us just kind of get into this space, kind of allow us to move through the tension, move it out of the body very slowly and mindfully. You can switch directions, always listening to your body. Breathing with your movement. And then coming back to center. And the next thing we're going to come to is a toe stand. So we're going to send a roll over the toes so that the toes are pointing towards the knees. And so you see that here. This is going to help stretch out our plantar fascia and also help release any tension in the soles of the feet. And again, this is really good for any built-up tension in the body. We're going to hold this for 10 breaths. This is probably the most intense hold of the practice. And so again, just relaxing the front body, rolling the shoulders up and back. Doing this intense thing mindfully and carefully. Finding peace within the intensity. Knowing that both can exist. And if you need a break between this, you can bring the palms down, gently unroll the toes, and just tap them on the mat, and then slowly come back. 5 more breaths. Can we soften the face, the eyelids, release the tongue. Breathe into the belly space, activating the diaphragm, inducing vagal tone, which activates parasympathetic system. And then slowly come back. Beautiful. Slowly tapping. We're going to send the right leg back and then slowly bring the knee into the nose. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, knee into the nose. And one more inhale back. And then exhale, bring that foot in between the hands. And here we're coming to an Anjaneyasana. We're going to send the hips forward, making sure that the ankle and the knee are in a direct line. And just here you want to be really gentle with your body. So you want to keep a straight line in the spine, sending the heart forward. And just come forward. Bring the hips as close to the front wall as is comfortable for you. You're going to feel this psoas stretch on the left side. And again, we're trying to stretch the leg muscles because symbolically our legs take us from A to B, right? They're a symbol of moving and navigating through life. And so again, we're holding a lot of tension in the legs, and everything in the body is connected. And so see if you can move the hips forward a little bit more with the inhales, and you can release with the exhales. Release the tension, close your eyes, really feel it escaping from the body. And then gently you can bring your hands either to that front thigh. Try not to dump the weight. Try to still keep the rib cage lifted. Keep the core strong. And you can lift the arms up high. Imagine you're holding this intention at your fingertips. And then slowly exhale, bring your hands down to frame the front foot. Send your hips back, straighten that front leg just for 3 breaths here. And again, just try to straighten that as much as you can. No need to strain, no need to prove anything to anybody. This is your body, your practice. And again, see if you can come back to the heart space. Notice what you're holding on to here, what's coming up for you. Can you use your breath to tap into it? Maybe it's there for a reason. Come back to your tabletop. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, rise. And extend, activating through the core. Exhale, knee to nose. And one more deep breath. And exhale, frame with the hands. Send the hips forward, coming to Anjaneyasana. And again, you want to be flexible here. Either send the hips back, forward a few times until you find a comfortable space to land. Bringing the hands to the front thigh. And then again, you want to create strength here. A strong upper body, a foundational and strong base, lower body. Lifting the arms up. If that's in your practice, if not, you keep it down. And wherever you are, can you keep the arms active? So if your arms are here, you're pushing down with control, with mindfulness. If your arms are up here, you're really holding this intention with a strong base, strong support system. Three more breaths. And inhale and exhale. You bring your arms down, fingertips to the mat, send the hips back. And again, maybe this side is different from the other. For me, this leg doesn't straighten as much. And so also just appreciating this asymmetry that we have in our bodies. Two more breaths. And one more breath of gratitude, coming back to your tabletop. Beautiful. Swaying from side to side. Let's slowly start to come down to the earth. So bringing the pelvic floor down, bringing the belly down and the heart. Well, we're going to tee out that right arm and then come over to that right side. Bring it that left leg up and bring it back behind us, stretching out the upper arms, the shoulders. So we did our hips and our legs. Now we're working with the upper body. Arms are very symbolic of how we give, how we receive. We just gave a lot of ourselves to our degrees, to our classes, to our semesters. And so it's almost like a harvest. What are we ready to do with it now? How are we moving through it, with it? And what kind of feelings, emotions, ideas do you want to invite into this space now? Maybe it's gratitude, appreciation, joy, excitement, motivation. And then slowly rolling over to the other side, we're going to tee out that left arm and roll on over. And so again, this is very gentle and mindful movements that we're doing here. Always listening to your body. Again, focusing on your breath, on what's coming up for you. Beautiful. And then slowly coming back to center. We're going to come into a quick Sphinx pose, rolling the shoulders up and back, opening the heart a little more, rooting the pelvic floor into the earth, pressing the tops of the feet into the mat. We're here for 3 breaths. Pressing the forearms, the palms into the earth, lifting the chin up, heart forward. Breathing into the belly, allowing the belly to expand against the ground, against the earth beneath you. Connecting with the support system, with your mat. Beautiful. One more deep breath. And then slowly exhale as you push yourself up, bringing your hands next to your rib cage. Very gently activating the core, pushing yourself up. Beautiful. Okay. And so now we're going to come to a quiet seat, comfortable seat on our mat. Find whatever works for you. Start to lengthen through the spine, taking some deep breaths in and out of the body. And so I like to say that we do these movements before a breath work practice or a meditation practice so that we can become more flexible, not just in the body, but also in the heart, in the mind, and so that we can sit a little bit more comfortably on the ground or on our cushion or on our chairs. Just kind of supporting this vehicle or this vessel that is our body, that takes us through life, that houses our emotions and our thoughts. And so it's also really important to move the stuff out of it and through it. And so here we are, we find ourselves sitting. Maybe we're up against a wall. Again, this should be as comfortable as you can. So if you need something behind you to really hold you up and support you, it's wonderful. If you like a cushion underneath you, sometimes I like to roll up the back of my mat and kind of place it beneath my bum, and this kind of helps lift my diaphragm from my knees, allowing expansion and contraction of the diaphragm, a little bit more activation there. So really up to you. Use this time, no pressure, no rush, to find your space. And so we already moved the body, right? And now we're going to become aware of the body. And so just with the mind, can you mentally scan, starting from the tips of the toes, using your breath, allowing awareness to flow up the body, through the ankles, through the knees, into the hips, scanning for any lingering tension. You can relax the arms, you can press them into the thighs, just kind of holding onto them for support, knowing that you have your body here to support you. You are your own support system at times. Can you lengthen through the spine, reaching the crown of the head towards the sky, rolling the shoulders up and back, coming back in your mind to some of the poses that opened up your heart a bit more, inviting that same energy here. And let's start to tune in to the breath. As we move awareness up the body, into the torso, start to feel the belly expand and contract. Maybe the rib cage starts to expand and contract. Maybe the chest is doing something too. Maybe the shoulders are moving with your breath. Notice what is moving with your breath. Notice the cause and effect. Notice the sounds. Whether they're coming from the breath, the room you're in, maybe outside the room you're in. And maybe staying away from judging the sounds and just noticing them. Can we make them reminders of maybe components or elements that we need in our life? Like coming back to ourselves, and at the same time we're relaxing our face. We're softening through the belly. We're lowering the shoulders down and back. Sending the breath into the belly area. And can we start to lengthen the breath? Notice the seconds that you're inhaling and the seconds you're exhaling. Again, just noticing, not judging. And I invite you to, for the next 3 or 4 or 5 breaths, you start to lengthen the exhale. So if you're breathing in for 3, you're breathing out for 5 or maybe 6. And if you're breathing in for longer, you're breathing out for longer. Let's practice this together. We come back to that element of grief, allowing us to process it with our breath, to be grateful for it is teaching us about our past, teaching us about the cycles, just as the breath has a beginning, a middle, and an end. So do the phases of our lives, just as the phases of the moon and cycles that we can observe in nature. So coming back to the nature of ourselves, of our experience, continuing to breathe. And then slowly relaxing the breath. Deep breaths in and out. Letting go of any control of the breath. Allowing these vibrations to flow in. Smiling at your breath. Smiling at your body, at your mind, at your heart. Can slowly start to raise the arms up high, bring the hands to a prayer at the top and bring your arms down, your hands down to heart center. Namaste, and thank you so much for joining us today for our beautiful practice together. Again, I'm so grateful to be able to share. I hope that we were able to process some grief, and I look forward to the next session with y'all. Thank you again, from my home to yours. Namaste.